Welcome to Ever After, a Once Upon a Time in Wonderland podcast. This is episode 1, Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And Rob Southgate. That would be your dad.
I think she knows who you are.
So, Molly, this was our first time watching Wonderland, which is the new series. What did you think?
I loved it!
It was awesome, wasn't it? Martha, what did you think?
Loved it.
So good.
Except she was asleep for half of it.
Oh, busted.
I was not. I fell asleep for a couple of minutes at the end.
You
but we
fell
rewound
asleep for
it.
the most important part.
But we did rewind
That's
it,
my
so she
job.
didn't get to see it.
You did rewind it.
Okay. I
woke her up.
just find it amazing that this is a TV show with the effects and the scene,
Yeah, it's really cool.
just the setting and everything.
Yeah, the
and
fact that they're
scenes.
pulling off Wonderland, just really cool. And, Molly, what did you think of Wonderland?
Of the place.
How did you think it looked?
It was really dark.
Really dark.
Do you think that it fit what you would imagine it to be like? No, what do you imagine it to be?
Well, at the end, I thought that looked like what I would think the Wonderland would be like.
Okay, what do you
Just
mean?
at
What
the
part?
end?
At the very end?
Yeah, when it showed the cool trees.
Okay, at the very end when they were walking and there was the road.
Yeah.
And the road, could you tell what that road was made out of? It looked kind of like dominoes to me. Is that what it looked like to you? Or just patchwork or something?
I just thought it was like just a pattern. I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I think it was dominoes.
But
because
it
it's all
reminded me
games.
of of Wizard of Oz with the Yellow Brick Road.
Right.
And the three of them were walking along, just like Dorothy.
So, Molly, can you describe what this episode was about? Can you explain it to me?
Well, it was about Alice going back to Wonderland. She went and that as a little girl, and then she went all the way back. Then she went back again because her father didn't believe her.
Okay, so she went back when she was, what, like a teenager?
Yeah, to get proof.
Okay.
And then she had to go to like some place.
That was an asylum.
An asylum, and then...
That was a pretty weird-looking place, wasn't it? That asylum?
Uh-huh.
They showed all those, the weird, crazy people in the hallways, and they were taking Alice to meet with the doctor. That was pretty weird. Mm-hmm. That's like Arkham Asylum from Batman. That's where they keep the Joker and the Penguin.
It is
It
cool.
is. Yeah. Always cool when we talk Batman, right?
Yes.
So okay. What happened then? Did she go back
What happened
again?
when she went back as a teenager?
Huh?
Oh yeah, what happened when she went back as a teenager?
She fell
went-
in love.
Something was chasing her, and so she shrunk herself and
The guards.
and where'd she hide?
Inside the bottle.
And
Yeah.
who was in the bottle?
The genie.
The genie. Yeah, his name was Cyrus in this, right?
He happened to be a cute young teenage boy.
Well.
So they sure did like each other, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right away they kind of fell in love, and then she said that he took her all over the place when she was telling the doctor that he took her all through time and all over the place to
All
different
over the
things.
world.
Yeah, and saw all sorts of crazy stuff, and then
All over the world.
yeah, it wasn't through time. It wasn't like Doctor Who.
Ooh, Doctor Who.
No, it might have been in time.
Was it time? I didn't think it was time. I thought it was just like all over the world, the Wonderland, which is full of weird stuff. Like they saw the boiling sea.
Yeah, I thought they said the briny sea.
Were you going to sing the song?
Yeah, but isn't that what she said? The briny sea?
Well, no, Molly. Was that briny or was it boiling?
I think it was briny.
Okay, you're both wrong. It was boiling because it was hot. Remember they said it was
boiling
boiling?
at the end, but in the beginning it was briny.
Yeah, in the beginning it was called the briny.
Is this 2 against 1? Is that what I've got here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we win because you're...
Well, even though we're probably really wrong.
You're completely wrong. I win.
No, we win because there's 2. 2 out
Yeah.
of 3.
Two ignoramuses giving the wrong information.
Yeah.
But because there's more of us, it automatically...
Mob rules. Crazy
That's
mob
correct.
rules. So, okay.
Okay, I want to talk about the fact that 2 of our favorite people were in this.
That was awesome, yes.
John Lithgow as the White Rabbit.
Let's stay on him for a second before we get to the other one. John Lithgow as the White Rabbit. When we saw he was going to be in, the whole house got excited. Well, Molly didn't. She doesn't know.
She would know.
She knows who he is,
John
maybe.
Lithgow's been in some of her favorite things.
Right. But you and I love John Lithgow. And he brings an edge of scary to it. Like when he was on...
Because of Dexter?
Well, and he was also in that movie Blowout, where he was a killer in that. So he's got kind of an edge, but at the same time, he's done things
John
like...
Travolta.
Yeah, but he was great in it. But then he was also on like Third Rock from the Sun, where he was really funny, and he's done kids movies. He was in Harry and the Hendersons.
Ooh, I haven't seen.
We didn't like Third Rock from the Sun.
No, but he was funny on that. Like kids like
Harry
that show.
and the Hendersons.
That's when they hit Bigfoot with their car and they take him home.
Yeah, you saw that once.
Yeah, you loved Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, with the big. And then there's the gorilla shop.
Yeah. Well, it's on a gorilla shop. The shop where they have all the heads, all the stuffed.
Oh, okay. Is it stuff? It's not stuffed
Harry
Bigfoots.
freaks out because
It's like a taxidermy shop or something.
yeah.
Okay. We have a friend Serena that does taxidermy. It could be her. Is it her shop? Is this reality or is this a TV show? I'm getting so confused.
A TV
Okay, and
show.
so the other one who got credit, but we haven't.
We saw the character, but we didn't hear his voice yet.
Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop is the caterpillar. I hope he sings "I Want to Be Your Dog" because I love when he sings that song.
So, Molly, you pointed out in the beginning where they ended up, where the beginning of the show took place, when the Knave of Hearts was going into the coffee shop.
Oh, right. Remember the very beginning, after we see Alice as a little girl, and we see it's pretty much where the original story leaves off, where she comes out of the ground and she runs to tell her father, but instead of them just accepting her in, he kind of freaks out because she's been missing for so long.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
they don't say how long she's been missing.
No, we don't know how long, but it's definitely more than a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they get the doctor in there, and I'm sure they end up taking her to an asylum or something. We don't really know what happens at that point. We just see her as a teenager then after the second adventure. But then we see...
They're in town, remember?
Yeah, do you remember where they are?
Storybrooke.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And and we see, what's her name, Emma? We see Emma and we see Grumpy, I think.
We see Grumpy.
We don't say Emma, we see Ashley, some girl named Ashley.
Oh, we do? So she must own the coffee shop? I thought it was Emma that we saw, but it was Ashley?
Yeah.
Okay. So she owns a coffee shop, and they go, you can't go in there, and he just goes in, and it's the Knave of Hearts.
And he steals a cup of coffee, and
as
you
he's getting
see
it,
him. What's interesting with him throughout the episode, you see him here. He took the cup of coffee and put $1 down. Then he kind of looked around and stuck the $1 back in his pocket. Later in the episode, when he steals her shoes with the wishes in them,
yeah,
he comes back.
Right, and
so he has a conscience.
But he came back because he couldn't use the wishes.
Right, but even still, I think that
he's not just a bad guy.
There's something to him. He's in a war with himself over, doing the right thing.
He wants to be the bad boy.
But he's
but
not
somehow
good at it.
I think you've already started reforming him. So he's no longer just the bad boy.
Yeah, I'm responsible for that.
And then in the diner, the floor all of a sudden...
there's like an earthquake.
Yeah, and it like explodes in the middle. And
then what happens?
It's the White Rabbit.
Yes.
A big hole bursts out.
And it's John Lithgow.
And out comes the White Rabbit.
Yes, that was really cool. And I thought the effects there were really good, too.
And he said to the Knave of Hearts, Alice needs you.
Yes.
So he was kind of recruiting him to go help Alice in the asylum.
I don't think he was the Knave of Hearts.
No, he is the Knave of Hearts. At that point, I thought he was the Mad Hatter.
No, called it.
But he calls him the Knave of Hearts. And then later on, she calls him Knave.
They call him that many times.
Plus, we see on the wanted poster, remember when it shows the wanted poster with him? It says Knave of Hearts on it.
I don't know how much more they could give you to convince you of his name. But he is the Knave of Hearts.
So, you know what, Molly? I actually want to hear, before we go, beat by beat through this episode.
We're not going beat by beat. We're jumping all over.
Well, I want to know, what characters did we see in this? Because we saw lots of different things happening here.
Jafar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we saw Jafar,
Genie.
the genie, who's Cyrus.
Alice in Wonderland.
Okay, who else?
The White Rabbit.
The White Rabbit,
Knave of Hearts.
Knave of Hearts.
Who was it? Who was with her doctor?
Remember when the doctor, when he was talking...
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yes, now they didn't call them that, but it said it in the credits. And you thought that the doctor was Tweedledee.
Because he was bald.
Right.
Probably, right.
Or dumb.
No. You mean Tweedledum. But I was thinking that the two guys sitting next to him, they never said anything, and they kind of had that blank stare
Which
that
is why
Tweedledum
they're
and Tweedledee have. Did you notice behind the doctor, if those two guys are Tweedledum and Tweedledee, behind the doctor was a picture of the Queen of England. So I'm thinking that was supposed to be implying that it was the Red Queen and Tweedledum and Tweedledee, like it was tying all that in. Because I think that's what it does so well with Alice in Wonderland, is it kind of ties reality in with Wonderland. So you get kind of confused. Is this reality? Is this Wonderland? Is it her imagination? But we know from this, it's reality. It's just kind of bleeding into reality, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. Do you guys disagree with me?
I just think it was boring.
Oh, boring.
What he just said, not the show.
No, the show was hardly boring. Alice was fighting like a ninja. Yeah.
So she meets this genie, and his name is Cyrus. And then later on, they've had some adventures, and he asks her to marry him. At which point, Molly swooned. And then the Queen of Hearts shows up with her soldiers, and they fight. And then she knocks him. She kind of uses her magic and gets him to fall off the cliff.
Right, and Alice believes he's dead.
Into the sea. We thought he died.
Yeah.
So,
but Jafar used the magic carpet
to save him. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, not to save him necessarily. He
put him in a bird cage.
Right. So he wasn't saving him just to save him. He was saving him for his own purposes. Do you know why Jafar needed to keep him alive?
Why?
Because of what Alice said about the wishes. The wishes have to be granted. They can't be stolen. Mm-hmm. So Jafar needs the genie to grant him those wishes. That's why he kept him alive, and that's why he's after Alice, because she has the wishes.
Yep.
Oh, so he needs the wishes to ask the genie.
Right. Well, he needs Alice he needs the wishes from Alice, and then he needs the genie to grant him the wishes.
What was your favorite line?
Ooh, what was your favorite line, Mark? Did you have one? I don't know if I had a favorite line.
Did you, Mel?
Does it say on there?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, how about your favorite part?
What was your favorite part?
Everything.
Okay, I loved when she and the knave landed in Wonderland together in the Mallow Marsh.
That was awesome.
I love the Mallow Marsh. I want to eat it so bad.
And then when she toasted it to get them out.
What did she use to toast it? Do you remember?
A dragonfly.
Yeah, because they were real dragons and they spit fire. That was really cool. And I loved that. I loved that image, how it had it all toasted and they climbed their way out. And we also found out at that point that the rabbit was working with the Red Queen. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, now, do we think the rabbit is actually a bad guy?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So what do you...
being threatened, I think.
Do you think he's going to end up helping Alice in the end?
Yeah.
Okay, because things are different in Wonderland. Because one of her friends actually turned on her. Do you remember who that was? He wanted to eat her?
Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, and he was giant. Mm-hmm. And she said, you seem different. And he said, everything's different in Wonderland right now. And he was a big, mean cat. And then I love how he got out of that. Do you remember what happened? How he got, what the knave did?
He shrunk him into a cute little kitty.
Yeah, he threw the mushroom.
Oh, okay. And then he went,
yeah.
He shrunk him.
My little Bubba's.
Yeah, do you think he's going to be your little Bubba's, or do you think he's going to try to eat you later?
He's tiny.
Well, yeah, but when that mushroom wears off.
Or when he finds something that makes him big again.
Ugh.
Yep, because you never know. It's Wonderland. He could eat anything. Anything could happen. Now, there's a lot of stuff in Wonderland.
If Putty was a giant cat, he would blow my ears off.
Putty's your cat, right?
Because he loves me.
Yes.
And then I'd go, brrr, boom.
Yeah.
Our house would go
So there's a lot of stuff in Wonderland that we haven't seen yet. What do you think we're going to see that we haven't seen yet? What are you excited to see?
Jasmine?
Oh, a Jasmine. Oh, I wonder if we'll see Aladdin and Jasmine in there because of Jafar and the genie. I wonder if we'll see that. Well, I'm also talking it from the Alice story, from the original story. Is there anything that you're looking forward to seeing? I know what I want to see.
Mad Hatter.
Totally what I want to
see.
see.
The caterpillar.
We did see the caterpillar.
Says,
Caterpillar.
Who are you?
Well, that's what we were about to say. Iggy Pop is the caterpillar.
Yeah.
And we seen him say, "Hey, you took my stuff. You took that." Hey,
Did he say that in
was
this?
mine. Yeah, he said, "Hey, that was mine."
Oh, I didn't notice that he
something.
said it. So I'm going to say that was my favorite line because it was Iggy Pop saying it.
Who's Iggy Pop?
He's a musician.
Okay.
Okay,
He's
so
awesome. But I think the Mad Hatter would be awesome. They made reference to the Dormouse, so we're going to see the Dormouse. And he called him a narcoleptic dormouse.
yeah,
What's a
Narcoleptic rodent.
rodent.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
What does narcoleptic?
And someone who's narcoleptic falls asleep a lot.
He falls asleep a lot, and that's why he's at the tea party to drink the tea to try to wake him up.
Oh,
Okay, can I talk about my favorite building?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite building from this one? What?
What is it?
Queen of Hearts' house.
Yes.
Okay, mine was Alice's family's house.
Oh, actually,
And that beautiful road.
I
that led
love
up.
that.
And then the stone house with covered in the ivy, and then
I love that one because it had the cute little tea party, and oh, it was so cute. I love that house. That was my favorite.
Are you talking about her
Wait.
house that she ran up to in the beginning, that her dad was inside of?
There was a tea party in there? I didn't see that. Did we watch the same show?
Where was the tea party?
Where was the tea party?
Maybe in our backyard. It showed that, and then the ground burst open so she could get up.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking the very beginning when she came out of the ground? Was there a tea party set up there? Oh, see, we didn't see that.
You noticed lots of details that we don't notice.
Yes.
I loved that house.
Well, I liked...
I loved the decorating. I loved the architecture of that house. I loved the lane that led up to it, all of it.
I loved the Mad Hatter's house because I liked how they had all the hats all over the place.
Let's talk about when Jafar meets the Queen of Hearts. Well, he doesn't meet her; they already know each other.
They already know each other, but
in that scene where he
almost choked her to death.
and we
Yeah.
find out that she, who's usually in control and bossing everybody else around, is actually working for him.
yeah, he's
the
got a
one
little more
in
power.
charge of her. And he wants her dead, but you know what? She knows where Alice is.
Right.
So
When
he can't kill her.
she says that's what she has over him. I know where Alice is. He wants to kill her because he says, you've fulfilled your purpose. You got Alice back in Wonderland. That's all I needed you for. Pretty tough. He's a bad guy.
And guess what? The Queen of Hearts holds all the cards.
Ah, good pun.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I actually can answer your question from earlier. You asked what was your favorite line. My favorite line was right at the end when the knave yelled, "Next stop, Wonderland." I thought that was really a fun line. I thought it was cool how he delivered it.
I didn't really know what he was saying. I heard next stop, something.
Yeah. Wonderland. It meant that they were going to Wonderland.
So your favorite building, your favorite structure was the Queen of Hearts castle?
No, I love that. I think it was really cool how it was built, but I love their little house.
But what did you love the most about the Queen of Hearts castle?
Because it was all made out of chess pieces.
Yeah, that was
That
so
was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff in this. Were there any? I know that you really like the costumes and that. Were there any costumes that you really liked in this one? Did anyone have anything really cool? I liked Alice's costume in the beginning when she was a little girl. I thought that the blue dress and everything looked so much like the Disney Alice without
That
looking
was-
like a cheap costume. I thought that was good.
I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, it was.
What was she wearing later when she was a teenager?
Asylum robe.
No, but do you remember what those things are called that she was wearing?
Slip?
No, where they tighten them. Remember, we've seen it on other things.
Corsets.
Yeah.
That did not look comfortable.
No.
I would not want to have to wear that outfit. Because you can't even bend. You can't even move.
I liked the...
No, it was she probably adjusted it.
You think?
I liked the costumes that the knights were wearing. Mm-hmm. The cards. Now, you were disappointed that they weren't playing cards, but I think that would have been a little bit weird.
Why?
It worked in
Everything is weird in Wonderland.
True, and it did work in the movie, the one with from a couple years ago, the Disney movie. But I liked that they made him more human. Depp? Right, because if they did the cards, the playing card look, they couldn't go into Storybrooke. Mm. But now, if they happen to go back into Storybrooke, those guys can be there. There can be the cards can be part of that story
because they don't look too ridiculous.
Yeah. So I liked that black and red that they had. I thought that was really interesting. Mm-hmm. Now, what was your favorite
building, though? You never said.
My favorite building? No, I did. The Mad Hatter's house, because I liked all the hats and everything. I didn't. I mean, I thought the Queen's Castle was super cool with the chess pieces. Mm-hmm. But I really, when they went into the Mad Hatter's house, I just really wanted to look around. So I don't know if it was my favorite building, but it might have been my favorite place. Now, were there any? We saw the caterpillar. Mm-hmm. We saw the Cheshire Cat. Mm-hmm. We saw those dragonflies. Uh-huh. We have not seen Tweedledum and Tweedledee in their outfits. I bet there's going to be a point when they show up in Wonderland.
Yeah, we've only seen them in the doctor's office.
Now, who else do you think might show up that you know of from that? You mentioned the Jabberwocky. Do you think we're going to have the Jabberwocky appear in an episode?
Yeah, I thought the Cheshire Cat was the Jabberwocky.
You know what? I did too. I didn't right at the beginning when he was invisible and you saw the smile, but when you said that, when he was leaping at her, I thought, ooh, I could see them doing something with the Jabberwocky here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have a live-action movie of Alice in Wonderland, and Alice isn't really like the one in Disney.
No, she was more like this Alice.
Yeah.
Like she could fight, and she had the Vorpal sword.
Ooh, yeah, I love the Vorpal blade because that's in Sisters Grimm.
It is. Oh, they have the Vorpal blade.
Yeah, another connection to Sisters Grimm.
Yeah, and isn't the Jabberwocky in Sisters Grimm?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what about, are there any of the other ones in there? Is the Cheshire Cat or the Mad Hatter? No, they don't show up in there?
Was Alice in Wonderland?
No? Okay. But there's a crossover here. So there are, once again, these crossovers.
I think they made the Cheshire Cat into the Jabberwocky. I think
what do you
something happened to him that made him
you mean because he was kind of fighting, he was aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really the case,
so he morphed.
But I do see, I could definitely see that there was that danger of the Jabberwocky there. So maybe we'll get a Jabberwocky in this.
Because he looked just like the Jabberwocky.
He did. The mouth and everything looked so much like it.
And the fur.
Yeah, scary.
Okay.
But then,
go ahead.
In the one I own that's live action, the Jabberwocky is all me and scary, and then it becomes then it becomes Alice's friend.
The Jabberwocky? I thought she kills the Jabberwocky.
No?
I'm so confused.
It chases after her, and then it becomes her friend.
Okay. What were you going to say, Martha?
I was going to say, I like to talk about the marshmallow.
Back to the marshmallow.
Yes, I love the marshmallow.
Well, I forgot one of the things that was cracking me up was when he was telling her, it's like s'mores, and she said, "What's a s'more?" And he said, "It's biscuit," because they're from England, and so they call cookies biscuits there. It's biscuit and chocolate and marshmallow.
Yeah.
And then she was going to toast the top of the marshmallow to get them out, and she said, "I'm making s'ores."
S'ores.
And he said, "S'mores. It's s'mores."
S'ores. Making s'ores.
So well, I did think that was funny.
I thought this was just really fun. I cannot wait to get further into this.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they did kind of explode it in this episode when they said, when she and Cyrus, when they were saying that they traveled to all these they traveled the world. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go and who they meet and how they develop this further.
Yeah, and they mentioned a couple of places that we don't know, we haven't seen. Now, that scene that you're talking about, when they were talking about the other places, it made me start thinking about what other lands they could go to. Mm-hmm. Now, on the regular Once Upon a Time, I think we're going to see Neverland. That's coming up in like the second season, or maybe this third season. So we'll get there. But I can think of 2 more lands that would be really cool. I just don't know if they're going to have the rights to be able to do it. But this made me want to see them go to Narnia real badly. Yeah. The other one, I would love to see if they went to Oz.
Yes.
I think they could bleed these together. And you know, they could actually do, because there are comic books that are, there's one called Wonderland Oz. Remember, you've got that one where Dorothy and Alice know each other? Mm-hmm. Why couldn't they do something like that here?
Will. Maybe that's their plan. I'm telling you, they were planting it.
You think that was the Yellow Brick Road?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The image of the 3 of them walking along the road, it just, absolutely.
All right. Well, this was really exciting. Any other thoughts about it, Mal? Martha, anything from you?
I don't think so.
Shall we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Ever After, the Once Upon a Time in Wonderland podcast. And you can also join us on our other podcast, Ever After, the Once Upon a Time podcast. For Ever After, I'm Rob Southgate.
I'm Martha Southgate.
I'm Molly Southgate.
Thank you so much for listening to us. Follow us on Facebook. Go to our website,
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
And that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will talk to you next week.
Okay.
Let's end this like every good story ends.
Happily ever after.
The end.